Well, welcome back to another trip down memory lane to our favorite decade. Thank you for being here, Kelly, and
Hello.
me, Sharon.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Kel.
Yeah.
We have got news, actually, on the one of the neo soul greats of our time, back with a new album. Even though she's been here the whole time performing new music from someone who you didn't want to get caught sitting behind at a movie or an award show. That seems to have changed too. We'll talk about that. Also, pretty big payout could find its way to Limp Bizkit, so we'll talk about that. Kelly's trivia will hit us where it hurts, but like you're all better for it once you got hit. Okay. Your 90s rewind will take us back to the beginning of the last spring of our favorite decade. And Eminem had new music, just released an album last year, but music has leaked. Bah, bah, bah. So there's info on that. We should start there.
Mhm.
So the deal with Eminem is that there's a fella with an unfortunate last name because of, not because of the name, it's a fine name, but just in case you do something that might make headlines and your last name is strange, you're in for it. So it's almost like if you've got a name that's particular or specific, you don't want to make bad headlines to yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
So Joseph Strange, enough, worked for, see, I did it, worked for Eminem for like 15 years
Yeah.
and was recently, just last week, criminally charged for selling more than 25 previously unreleased songs from Eminem's world.
Yeah.
So, what happens when you work for someone for that long and you make a criminal gesture such as this? You then face that much time in jail. Isn't that crazy? He worked for him for 15 years. He's now facing 15 years in prison
Yeah.
and $250,000 in fines.
It's
Was it worth it? Let me work it. I don't think it was
no,
worth it.
no. And did you read in the article where they were like the kind of the first of all, the FBI's involved, so that's serious business. Like I would
Yeah.
not want to be anywhere near an FBI investigation.
My
And
gosh, no
then the
kidding.
article that you and I read, it seemed to talk about how they were able to backtrack via studio stuff to like figure out which song, got obviously, which song got leaked, they realized, but then to kind of to backtrack like who would have had access to it
Yeah.
and kind of do the deduction from there, like how, that it was, allegedly this guy. So yeah, like not smart at all. And obviously I know they give the worst case scenario when you read these things. So it's like up to 15 years and up to
Right.
20,000.
Sure.
But I mean, he could get 15 years. He could get 9, he could get 3, but there's a
Hmm.
good solid chance he's going to jail. So,
And interesting in a situation where it's like any other job at that point. It's a really cool job to have to work in, studio space with Eminem. But because every single thing is linked to a computer in the world, everybody's got logins and everybody's got basically a stamp of where you were and what you were doing there.
hmm.
So Strange was ignorant
Yep. Yeah.
because computers, you know?
So not smart. And like I just can't imagine like messing with Eminem. I don't think many artists you should be messing with, but like
No.
he would be right at the top list of that, especially because, he has his own studio. So of course they're gonna be tracking everything because it's not like because it's one thing I think if you go into, let's say, a recording studio in California, like Los Angeles, like of course they're going to have protections there, but because there's so many artists and producers in and out, it might be harder to pinpoint.
Hmm.
But like in Eminem studio, and we all know that Eminem seems to be a pretty private guy overall. Like he's not letting everybody and their grandmother into his, like studio in Detroit. So
Right.
like the list couldn't have been long to figure this out.
So I would think also that you have to get to a point where you're hired and then you're trusted and then you gain even more trust by working with someone like
Yep.
Eminem.
Yep.
That as long as almost like as maybe as quickly as it took or as long as it took for you to build that trust with that with your boss like that, the turnaround and the non-trust is equally speedy
Yeah.
and probably everlasting. Like there's probably no turning back from that, you know?
And he'll probably like apart from what he's facing, I can't like everybody's gonna know this dude because, you know, especially at that level, like the recording industry is small. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he'll never work again, basically, unless
Yeah.
like he's in some, you know, small studio or you know, he's not gonna work with A-listers again would be my
No,
process on this.
not with a unique name like Joseph Strange either.
Yeah.
He'll change his name to Joseph Normal now.
Yeah.
Then you'll know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because buying those songs, you can't do anything with them. They weren't his to sell, so they're not yours to buy.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't do anything with them anyways, legally.
Mhm.
Maybe you could try to do something and then, the whole ask for forgiveness being easier than asking for permission. It'll be interesting though, but I'm also happy that he had that many songs that were lying around.
Yeah. Yeah. Also.
But the catch is that you think that everything that Eminem would have done would have been good, but you decide on the song list for an album, which he did. Then there was 25 others that didn't make the cut for that album.
Hmm.
So, he could either be just as easily be upset that the music is great and got leaked
Yeah.
or not his best and got leaked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it becomes a personal affront and well, that's the arts, right? Like it's business and stuff, but you're building on a personal output. So, good luck, Joseph Strange.
Yes.
Yeah, they searched his house too. Gosh, when it gets to that point, when the FBI is on your property,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
Watch
And
out.
what was the line? Protecting intellectual property from thieves is critical in safeguarding the exclusive rights of creators and protecting their original work from reproduction and distribution by individuals who seek to profit from the creative output of others. That from a U.S. attorney. So
Yeah.
they mean business, man.
Don't mess with the FBI.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Before you go into the next story, would I be able to make a programming note?
No.
Okay.
Of course, Kel. The next thing we're doing is the trivia. So take the floor. I know that
Okay.
you've got important news to share about the Kelly Alexander show and the live
Yes, because I
stream.
just wanted, I know last week when we spoke, I had promoted that we were doing a live stream for the Janet Jackson Rhythm Rumble. And
Yes.
so, due to unforeseen circumstances, we had to put a pause on that. So it was supposed to be the 23rd of March. It's now going to be Sunday, April 6th at 7 o'clock Eastern. So you haven't missed it if you only maybe listened to the show late last week and got the news and thought the Instagram live had happened, but it's coming and
Nice.
it will be Sunday, April 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And you can still jump onto our social media handles. And by the way, the live stream will happen at Kelly Alexander Show on Instagram. And so you can still jump onto our socials and help help pick we have the 16, but we're always happy to hear whatever everybody's thinking because we pare down from 32 songs, but it should be great and we're really excited to do this.
Cool. Well, I have prepared my thoughts on the 16 and who I think should be the 8.
Yeah, that
So
because
that'll be cool.
I sent you the 32. So you've paired did you pare down from 32? Because that's what you said on the show last week. You were going to pare down to see if you're
Oh, yes. Each had 16. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah. This for Janet fans is a huge deal.
Yeah, the excitement has been palpable, so we're really excited. And yeah, we again apologize that we had to press pause, but we'll be back on the 6th of April. So
Very good. Are you prepared to keep talking, Kelly? Because it's time for trivia.
boom, boom,
Boom,
ready to go.
boom.
So we're still in the pop culture and hobbies, toys, and games cards, Sharon. Which one would you like to kick off with?
Hobbies, toys, and games.
Here we are. What is Digimon short for?
Digital Pokemon?
Digital monsters, comma, duh, exclamation mark.
Talk about judgy.
Judgy. Yeah.
That's judgy.
So digital, that makes sense. Digital monsters, Digimon, but I would have never, did you? I don't even remember hearing about these things in the 90s.
Yeah, I kind of did.
Did you?
through my nephews. Like that, it wasn't anything that I was playing with.
Yeah, maybe.
I was in the clubs,
You were in
so
the clubs with
I
your hyper.
wasn't with a Digimon. Okay, it was
Yeah,
with people.
good things you had those. Yeah, because you seem to know all the toy stuff because your nephews were little dudes
Yes,
with that.
yeah,
So that makes
exactly.
I don't remember hearing about these things.
My favorite toy from that time was the Bop It.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Talk about it was like super addictive because
Hmm.
you got a rhythm going. Bop it, pull it, twist it, hit it, like, and then you just get a thing. And my nephew Jonathan, he was super like he just do it, and then you make a mistake, you're like, "Oh, do it again." Like you just get your joy to rage tempo is really high, but it was super fun at the same time.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Jonathan is such a good boy, so I'm sure he
yeah,
had fun playing this game with you. So
yeah. He was funny. Well, he still is funny. But as a little boy, he was a Spice Girls fan.
was he?
Oh yeah, huge.
That's amazing.
Huge Spice Girls fan. So I think
Can
he had all the dolls, all the like
really?
the figure, not the figurines, but like the Barbie style dolls.
Can I guess his favorite? Do you know his favorite? You must know his favorite. Did he have a favorite?
I'm pretty sure his favorite was
Baby Spice.
Sporty Spice. I
That was my
think,
that was my brother's favorite.
I think. But I remember one time, beginning of my, well, relative beginning of my career section in Montreal.
Mhm.
Um, he was doing a presentation for class, and I recorded an intro to Stop and did a shout out. Like we would never have played the Spice Girls on
Yeah.
Show 'em. So I did it off the air, but I recorded it and
Yeah.
gave a shout out to the class and said, "Here you go for your Spice Girls and Stop." And he was like he just was bursting with joy. He would have been like 6 or 8 or something, but like, oh, you know.
That's
Oh,
so good because I think I told you when I gave a shout out to my niece Eva for her birthday, she cried, but not in a good way.
oh no.
Did I ever tell you the story?
I don't think so.
She was because I thought, like, she might have been 5, 6, like something like that. And so I coordinated with my brother, my sister-in-law, like, when they were gonna be in the car at whatever time and I was on the air, I was like, okay, I'll do the shout out. So I did it, and then they told me she burst into tears and she never wanted me to do it ever again. And apparently it was because she's very shy, so she couldn't, even though she was only in the car with her parents,
Hmm.
grasped the idea that like many people would hear that and hear her name and whatever. And
Right.
even though I'm 99% sure I only said like my niece Eva, like I don't think I said her last name.
You
Obviously,
give
it was
her
pretty
her
self-explanatory.
her personal information as a
Yeah.
5-year-old.
Yeah, here's your SIN number. But but yeah, so she's like, no, Kiki, don't ever do it again. So if memory serves, I haven't.
That's funny. Does she remember that?
Yeah, because I tease her about it every so often. She's like, I was just little. I'm like, I know, but it's ridiculous. I'm like, people would pay me money to wish them happy birthday.
It's ridiculous. Suck it up. How old is she
Yeah,
now? Like
suck it up, princess.
18? Is she like 18 now?
She's she just turned, I can't believe this, 17.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we all saw each other the other day. Like, her younger sister, Alexia, who's about to turn 15, and then um her cousin, so my sister's daughter, who is also 17, like there's a 2 month difference between them turning. And
Hmm.
it was my first time really seeing them together, specifically the two older ones, going, wow, like these are young women now. Like you can just see the kind of growth in them physically. And then
Yeah.
because now like they're both, one has their license and one is about to pass their exam. So
Oh, cool.
they're both on the roads pretty much. And it's like, I remember changing your diaper. So like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
but
fun.
they're excited young adults. So
Very nice.
yeah. So you ready for pop culture, Sharon?
I am, well, who's ever really ready? But yeah, sure.
Go. A wicked 90's kids trend was decorating your bedroom ceiling with glow in the dark. What?
Like solar system things, like sun and star, moon and
Yeah, like, well, it says stars, so I guess that's,
stars. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They were like gummy. ish.
Were they?
I think so.
It's into that too? Because
I, as an adult, appreciated that.
yeah. I've always liked, I don't know if you did this, but because you moved away, right? Like I went to Ryerson in Toronto, so I, lived by myself in university, and I put Christmas lights up all around my dorm, like all year. Like I kept it up the whole time.
It's nice and warm.
It's nice and warm, and it just makes you feel like you're, I don't know, like yeah, like you said, warm and not alone, and like, there's some joy with all the colors and stuff. So any apartment I have, and even now we have Christmas lights up in the kitchen, in my house, adult house with my better half, and we have like an area in the kitchen where we put lights on at night, and it's Christmas lights up at the top. So
Oh, that's nice. I
yeah.
like that. I like it.
We actually even have a tree that like I got as a birthday gift. It kind of looks like it's like a fake palm tree kind of thing. And
Yes.
we put Christmas lights on that too. So we light that in the corner and it looks like super cool. Oh, you would have seen it from my live streams. Do you remember my
Yeah.
live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totes.
Yeah.
Hey, well, can you believe that it's been 15 years since Erica Badu's last album?
It's great. I can't because I have that album, obviously. And I was like, it's like I had a whole like existential crisis. I'm like, how is it 15 years? So
Yeah, well, I mean, funny, eh? Like that when we were referring to time things today, it's 15 years.
yeah.
It's 15 years of working for Eminem and 15 years in prison for the guy that
Yeah.
shafted him. Now 15 years, and Erica Badu has closed that chapter, but she's been performing the whole time,
Mhm.
which is cool. So, life as an artist is ongoing for her, obviously, and she can't wait to share this album. Obviously, the last one being in 2010, it's easy to call it long awaited.
Yeah.
Um, what I didn't know she sported, and I made the joke about you didn't want to get caught sitting behind her in a movie or the Grammys or something, because she always wore a headdress, right? Like
Yeah.
big,
Really high. Yeah.
really high, which is a commitment, because it's kind of heavy and it's something, and it's and beautiful woman. Um, just makes it hard to see things in front of her.
Mhm.
Now she's got grills and not much in the way of top dress,
Yeah.
but grills. That's a whole other commitment. I'm
Yeah.
compelled by that stuff. Also, I don't like it when my teeth touch a fork.
Right.
So grills would be like a punishment for me. You're getting grills. No, like braces would have been challenging for me.
Yeah, I had braces. Yeah. That was like that was a whole level. Yeah, especially like I remember not to get too whatever, but there was a time where like you're they really are trying to tighten your mouth. And what happens is because your teeth are actually moving, right?
Yeah.
Um the wire comes out the back end because it's like, and so if you don't have an appointment like scheduled appropriately, and obviously most like dentists that do what's the word, orthodontists
Yes.
Adonis would know that this is going to happen. But a couple of times I literally had like I think they used to give you wax so that you'd put it at the back because
Oh,
until
like a
you went
stopper.
yeah, because until you went to see them and they clipped that off, you actually had like a metal sticking into your cheek.
Oh, God.
So it was quite a commitment. But I'm very happy with my pearly whites that my parents paid for. So
Very good. You imagine how mad they'd be if you got grills.
yeah, exactly.
No grills for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So to wrap it up
New
with Erica
album.
Badu and her grills, we've got a new album. Um, and she's still working on it, which is great. She says she tours 8 months out of the year, and she's been doing that for the last 25. It's what I do. She says, I'm a performance artist. I am not a recording artist. I come from the theater. So interesting. Like she's fine, I guess, getting to that point in her artistic pursuit that she's like, okay, yeah, I want to make music now.
Yeah.
But it's not about the music necessarily. It's about the performance of it.
Yeah. And have you seen her, Sharon, perform?
I have not. Wasn't she? Oh, was she in Dave Chappelle's Block Party? That would have been the
Yes.
only time that I would have
Oh,
seen
maybe.
her.
Probably because I saw her in, I believe it was 2006.
Cool.
And The Roots were her opening act.
Oh yeah.
And this was at the Old Port in Montreal, and she was late, like 2.5 hours late. And they kept playing,
Unacceptable.
which was great. And like it was freezing because it was May 6th. I still remember the date, May the 6th.
Whoa.
And it was, it had been warm in the day, but not at night, and I literally couldn't feel my legs at one point. And
Oh my
so I
gosh.
was this close from leaving, and my little cousin was with me, and we decided to stick it out. And then sure enough, she shows up and she gets on stage, and like I was angry at this point. Like I was
Of
like
course.
brutal. But the minute she goes, "Hello, Montreal," and I was like, "I love you so much." I forgave her pretty easily. And then the show was just like next level magic. So
Wow.
yeah, but I forgave her real fast, Jerome.
That's big because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like that kind of lateness, and I'm a person who functions on my own clock. I totally
Yeah.
get it, but like I've never been 2.5
Yeah.
hours late
I
for.
should preface the fact that we were told that there was a problem with like her getting from the last city. So again, was that true? Was that not? I don't know, but it was something like there was problems in like in transit to get to us. So, hopefully that was the truth, but yeah, it was brutal. I was frozen at that point.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah.
Wow.
But if anybody listening or watching us right now, if you have the opportunity to see Erica Badu live, like that should be on your bucket list.
But do it.
But do it. Yep.
So the big payout for Limp Bizkit is quite significant because they've been in a lawsuit with the record company, Universal, um, for a while. And it seems that the intentional or the accusation, alleged intentional withholding a large sum in unpaid royalties, and the fight is on.
Hmm.
So the unpaid royalties could come to $200 million.
Wow.
That's nuts. But they've been fighting this for a while, and now it's been said that the lawsuit can go through. And what they're accusing is that they're saying the band is saying in an official statement that UMG designed and implemented royalty software and systems that were deliberately designed to conceal artists' royalties and keep those profits for itself. So they're making these claims against the label that also include breach of contract, fraudulent business practices, and copyright infringement.
Pretty
$200 million.
pretty
That's,
strong accusations.
yeah. I think if you go big like that, you're going to come out with at least something, like Limp Bizkit is not nothing. They were significant with what they were contributing in the rock world in the 90's and the early 2000s. That's for sure. So
Are you still touring, Sharon?
they probably are still touring because that's where they make their money, right?
Hmm.
Um, and they're also Fred Durst, anyways, of Limp Bizkit will be performing as part of the Black Sabbath final show, which is
Great.
a charity concert in Birmingham, England in July. Back to the beginning. I've just read not all the details, but some of them with regard to Ozzy performing after it was shortly after the concert was announced that the fervor took over, like, oh, this is your last chance to see Black Sabbath kind of thing, and Ozzy's going to be there. And then it was he may not perform that much though. Like, well, what's happened? Why are you saying? What do you mean? Like he's not 100% in great condition, so it's not surprising. But the word is that he'll be performing from a throne.
Okay. How old is he now, Sharon? Do you know?
112.
Wow, so that's great. What a
Yeah,
commitment to life.
yeah. How old is Ozzy, anyways? I should find that out.
Should I
It's
ask
all
Siri? Should I ask?
no.
Let's just
I'll
see if
find
she.
it.
Hi Siri, how old is Ozzy Osbourne?
Ozzy Osbourne is 76 years old.
Did you hear that?
She said it confidently. I feel like I can trust her.
76 years old. We'll go with
And
that.
she's right.
Yeah.
You're trusting a robot voice and the internet to tell us the truth.
Yeah.
That is 2025.
Oh, girl, 76 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. And again, his health has been an issue for many years, but certainly the last couple, it's been affecting the way he lives his life. So, bringing that into the picture of Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. We'll keep you posted when we get more information about this legal battle that started back in the fall, but is allowed to go through now. So we'll see how that goes for them. $200 million. I could do a lot with that.
Me too.
I'd be happy with one.
You keep saying that, but like
I would be delighted with one.
I mean, one would be amazing, but like one in this day and age goes pretty darn fast.
What are you doing? Rolling, rolling, rolling?
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean, like 1 million would go very fast. Like if you couldn't really, like, I mean, if you were able to stay very strict with your spending, like where you're literally just like, because you wouldn't be able to upgrade your life that much. Like you couldn't retire.
I could.
You could on $1 million.
1,000%.
No.
We work in radio.
Yeah.
If I was given $1 million, I would probably keep working because I love my job and it's super fun.
Yeah.
But I could totally retire.
So like, because you're only 9 years older than me, and so
Thank you for putting the only in front of that.
yeah, because like let's just say you use like so $1 million tax free, right?
Hmm.
So you only like let's say because what would you allow yourself $100,000 a year? That's only 10 years of being able to live at $100,000 a year.
Yeah, but that's money just sitting there. Of course, I would invest it, and so that dividends would be able to
Right.
subsist my lifestyle, which wouldn't be super extravagant, though I would treat myself to fancy sunglasses,
Okay.
not grills.
No. Leave
Maybe a vacation on a plane.
instead of down at the park at the lake.
I am simple people.
Okay, great.
But if you had five that you wanted to give me, I'll take that.
Right. I actually figured that because in Canada we can't get more than 70, right? Like that's usually the highest jackpot is usually around 70.
I'll take that too.
Yeah, I would take 70.
Yeah.
I would also take 27. So,
Yeah. Take one.
yeah.
I'll
Sharon's not
do
greedy, folks.
not greedy.
It's just because
Yeah.
I like in my head I was like, oh, I'd give money, to the farm because like that would be helpful. So I'd be
Yeah.
like, here's a cool 10 mil. You know what I mean? And then I've already divvied it up in my head. So
I get it. You'd show up to the farm in a glitzy suit
yeah.
in heels that you're not comfortable wearing, but you feel you should wear because you're rich now.
Yeah. Wealthy Sharon, there's a difference.
You're probably wearing some sort of a chapeau
Yeah.
and you got one gold tooth because you're not going to get grills, but you just want to show some sort of rebellion to your parents with one nugget, like a gold cap.
A gold. My parents would love that. Yeah.
See, that's a bit of rebellion.
Yeah.
We paint a wonderful picture
We do.
in our hoodies and
Yeah.
cotton fabrics.
Who wants to sponsor the show?
Anyone? We're open. We're very easy to please. We can work with, we'll do a lot with not a lot. Okay. Obviously. So we are at the end of Women's History Month. I've got another handful of songs from some of our favorite women
Let's do it.
from around this time in 1999. Okay. So how about we throw some Mariah at you?
Do
She was
it.
in the top 10 at this point with I Still Believe, which is good because she to this day still goes.
Yep.
We'll put Monica in the mix there.
Mhm.
Angel of Mine. That was one of those songs that you couldn't go anywhere and not hear it in 1999. Similarly, Britney Spears and Baby One More Time.
Do it.
Do it. Deborah Cox really making her mark with Nobody's Supposed to Be Here.
Love DC.
Go DC.
Yep.
Sarah McLachlan with the song that gets played at all the funerals.
Oh, it's right.
With Angel. Beautiful song.
Yeah.
And it was a really rich time for her, not necessarily only financially, but like musically, she had next leveled herself with Lilith Fair and the world had her. And what she was giving them musically was incredible. And Angel is a beautiful song. So two Angel songs in an offering that also gives us TLC and No Scrubs. So three more women there. And then three more with Whitney Houston, Faith Evans, and Kelly Price and Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
And I'll wrap it up by saying that the last song I will offer you for this last dash of Women's History Month. And 1999 is a song that totally changed the game from an OG who had hits in the 60s, hits in the 70s, hits in the 80s, and of course, hit 1999. It's Cher and Believe
With the auto tune.
with the auto tune.
Yeah.
Game changer. And she was the one that did it, man.
She's avant-garde, that girl. Yep.
And I can tell you that if you just want to recreate auto tune in your life, you get an oscillating fan and sing into that.
Nice.
I mean, make sure that it's got a guard on it so you're not getting too close. But you can sing Believe into a fan and you'll sound like Cher.
Something to try.
Summer's coming. I'm just making some plans. See, I can entertain myself really on the cheap. So I could do a lot with $1 million.
I love it.
That was your 90s rewind and your last one for Women's History Month. Dramatic pause.
Can we give a shout out? Two things. So first of all, Mariah Carey is celebrating Freedom 55 because her birthday is the 27th of March.
Yowza.
So happy birthday to MC, who now it appears, I'll say allegedly, but it appears she's dating Anderson .Paak. So they've been spotted at many events recently. And then I saw something which I don't know if it was confirmed or not, but apparently they were holding hands recently. But I'm not sure if that was him just helping hold her up or like
Right. Yes.
she loves the high heels and sometimes they're very high. So we're not sure, but there could be something there. And then I have great news, Sharon. This is a surprise for you. Crystal Waters, our good friend Crystal Waters, has a new song out called You and Me. It is absolutely fantastic and is basically the 2025 version of something you would have heard her do in the early 90s. Like,
oh, cool.
Like, you know, like 100% Pure Love. It's kind of in that vein, but
Yeah.
with 2025 feel to it. And a big shout out to her producers. It's a producing duo, I believe, out of the UK. I think it's UK. They're called Many Few.
Okay.
Like literally the word many and few, like it's one word. And their Instagram handle, I believe, is that at Many Few. And honest to God, it's like they knew who she is and put that 2025 taste on it with her. And it's
nice.
Next level bananas. So please check it out. You and Me, Crystal Waters, new music. And a new album is coming on the way. Her first in I don't even know how long. And we're supposed to get it in the fall.
Nice. Go, Crystal.
Yeah. And
that's great
news. We're gonna have her on the show, Sharon. Hopefully, we're gonna have her on the show.
Or we might have to go back to our old. Nope.
Yeah.
That was great.
There's that option.
Cool. Well, that's a great note to end on. Thanks, Kel. The date again for your live stream on the Kelly Alexander Show for the
Rhythm Rumble.
Rhythm Rumble is
Sunday, April the 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
On your socials, right?
Yeah, on Instagram Live. So at Kelly Alexander Show.
Perfect. I'll see you there and probably before that.
Yeah.
So that's it, you guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with us, for being a part of 90s Now. We appreciate you finding us wherever it is that you do and taking us with you for your walk or your run or your whatever it is that you're doing. Thanks for being here. And thank you for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.